see these issues fully exploited by these teams.
Issues, yes. Well, we're going to have to see whether SK can actually step up to all that preparation that CLG have supposedly been doing on this map. It's a bit of a crazy one, and it looks like SK are going to start moving towards the radio room, and if they're going to meet a push here, CLG just running in, and they're going to get completely destroyed. Absolutely destroyed. And that's a 4 versus 2 now. SK Gaming looking really good. They have their pick of bomb site. They can plant pretty much wherever. Hayes going to have to hit some ridiculous shots with the USP, and he's going to get eliminated as well. Not really a good look here for Tarek against 4 players. So this really seems to be in the hands of SK Gaming, the Danes.
I do believe, Dan, that headshots will be required here by Tarek if he is to salvage anything from this. Oh, we've got the BGs, the bad games plant coming in there on top of the structure. There's a lot of things to focus on this particular map. The one thing, why are they doing a conga line through the... They were like, you know, holding each other by the waist there. Didn't really work out for them. But one of the issues of this map is that there are these structures on each bomb plant and on each bomb site, and you can plant on top of the structures, which is massively overpowered.
It's pretty much the GG when you plant that. I mean, how do you defuse that?
Especially on the B bomb site, because you need like a GPS to make your way around the upper rail to get there. It takes a long time. Anyway, SK are going to be on the SMGs for the most part, just the 1 AK onto Magic's Boy as they come in for this anti-force buy round. Peter gets taken down very quickly indeed. There are players outside for the CTs, but I mean, at this point, I don't know if it's worth them trying to push back into the site. I think the right call most of the time will be to just hold angles again, play for the exit frags here, because, I mean, these choke points are horrible.
Yeah, and they went for the full force buy as well, so they actually have... Well, they're going to get a lot more value in the next round by holding on to what they have, more opportunities to use these pistols that they've bought up to get some damage in the following round. So it definitely makes a lot of sense. You can see that SK are trying to work their way out. They're actually managing to do so. Cillian sort of cleared a path through the lobby area, so we might just see them going. They can see Magic's Boys just worrying that maybe, you know, a ninja defuse attempt might come out, just hanging around just a little bit of extra time there before finally evacuating along the path, which was cleared by Cillian, and SK lose only a single man. But CLG actually have gained themselves a UMP there. So they managed to pick up an SMG, and they've saved on 2 other players as well. So CLG are definitely a little bit scary in this round in some respect. SK don't really want to lose more than 1 or 2 players, to be honest, but that's very realistic considering what CLG have now.
I'm really curious as to what formats we will have from both CT sides, because I feel like you have to have 2 people outside, and you either put 1 in A or 1 on ramp and then 2 in the other place, whichever it may be. But we'll see what CLG have to offer in this particular round and how SK make their way onto one of the bomb sites. Again, the quick high ground. And another thing, when we see the full buy coming in from the CTs, this structure on the roof there with the spinning fans, behind that, you can get a nice angle with a sniper rifle to hold an angle on the upper, but the question is, where do you put your lower guy when you do that? So SK having a clean-up round, as they should. Very nice spray control there by Cillian, so JDM should be dispatched off quickly. So, wow, that's a big war cry for an anti-eco round, yeah. Yeah, they're getting pretty hype a bit early on, guys. Might want to slow the pace a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's a funny one because I actually feel like this map is pretty damn T-sided, all things considered. So CLG are actually in a little bit of trouble if they can't get going fairly early into this. And we are going to see their first proper buy round now. They've got the AWP out on JDM. And as James said, it's going to be really interesting to see how they play outside. You know, typically, you would expect either the AWP to be outside or to be in the ramp area alone. And it's so easy to get outside as a T. You've got so many ways to attack high and low, so much cover. You've also got a very easy approach into the upper bomb site as well, because it's harder for the CTs to maneuver, and you have better timings through the squeaky door as well. So generally speaking, this map is, I feel like Valve may have changed the most CT-sided map in the game to maybe a T-sided map, James.
Well, we see JDM still in the traditional position.
Missing shots, though.
Yeah, he is indeed. Still early days, however, so maybe a little bit of a warm-up is required. I think this is unlike him to miss so many shots, and he is a key player. He is the talisman for CLG. When everything else goes wrong, you expect JDM to deliver, and indeed, that is an express delivery for Pimp. So we've got a 4 versus 3 at the moment. CLG still with good map control for the time being. We've got some aggression. Traditionally, you could wallbang the bottom right corner of that red box. Not seeing that from Cutler just yet, but still so far so good. Going to take a kill, going to get out of there. Play with the advantage. Tarek coming in from above as well, which will split the last 2 players here for SK. Cillian, though, winning that duel, and Cutler gets taken down. We might see a bomb plant here now.
Yeah, so they've actually turned this into a round which could be quite winnable. It looked a little bit scary for a while, but got Magic Spoy there on full health. Isilian's going to go for the plant there on top.
The bad plant, Dan.
Yeah.
That plant is bad.
That plant is really, really hard to get to. The CTs and Magic Spoy, another frag there. The third and the fourth kill. The quad kill coming out of Magic Spoy. One after another, just winning all those one-on-ones. Completely unscathed by the end of it all as well. And that's quite impressive. And the thing about that round for me as well is that it felt like SK Gaming were playing pretty greedy on the outside. JDM gets to take like, what, 6 or 7 or 8 shots before he only gets one frag. JDM almost every time is taking all of those kills, and then SK lose the round. So I'm actually not confident after that in SK's ability on the T side.
SK enjoying the adrenaline rush at the moment, but again, they are playing 2 games here. There's a lot of play to be had, so hopefully they won't run out of steam before they need to. All right, so we've got CLG. They've lost the first buy round. They're down to the pistols. Not much going on there. Cutler's picked up some Kevlar, but nobody else has. There's no nades now on the CT side. Often in this situation, you'll see CT sides, you know, put the numbers towards one area and try and concentrate the forces there. Good start though, Tarek with the 1 deeg onto Modi. Again, now that gun that Modi's dropped might be a juicy prize for the CTs to try and retrieve, but obviously SK will be aware that the CLG will want to pick up that gun. So the question is, do CLG take the risk to try and retrieve it? Do SK try and protect the gun? Do they pick it up and throw it away somewhere so the CLG can't get their hands on it? All the meanwhile trying to keep themselves alive versus these CTs. So CLG just going for some information. JDM doesn't have great range to really take a duel with that particular pistol from that distance. We hear calls of mid. And SK start to creep in towards the B-bomb, the A-bomb site. Hayes with a nice shot there, but he's running out of bullets. Another headshot, that is massive. 2 versus 3 now. Cutler's picks up a Mag 10. Again, he still has that Kevlar to work with as well.
And there is Pimp, he's got the AK's last man standing, gets a shot from the back, so nothing that they can do in the end. So very unexpected round 1 by CLG there, and that might be something, we might have seen some leaks there from SK Gaming that will start to be a bit more prominent as the rounds go on. That could be the edge or the edges that CLG will need to actually bring themselves into a spot where they've done enough on the CT side. And I think that's very much what the case will be here, that CLG just need to do enough here so that they can get their strong T side. Because all that preparation that we would have heard about from CLG just earlier on the desk, we're going to see that manifest itself more on the T side, where you can dictate the pace of the match. And here we got Freeze opening things up with the AWP against JDM. So this could be quite a scary 1 versus 1.
Yeah, there are so many problems for CT AWPers outside now. There are just so many angles to look at. You have to look at people jumping over the box, which is the angle JDM is holding. But there's a larger gap towards the right there where people can peek from as well. Just all kinds of weaknesses here for the CT side. That corner helps though, allowing a bit of a silo peek there, but JDM is isolated. Got that wall of smokes coming out. Back in the day when the Astana Dragons used to play this map, they would put that wall in every single round, so you never quite knew what's going on. JDM trying to mount an offense there, but 3 players have been lost, including JDM. CLG getting cut to pieces here. 2 players left, the bombs down as well, and that's his pretty much round over now. SK moving to 5.
Yeah, another ridiculous round from Magic Spoy. Again, he just seems to deliver, and they were talking him up quite some on the desk. Oh, there's some interesting opinions there.
Well, 2 versus 1 now. Tarek, although he will get taken down as he tries to pass through the gap in main. So CLG with a lot of problems here.
Boom.
I mean, it's not even clear the way the map is at the moment how many rounds we think a CT side should get. There's still lots of information to be found here, and that will come with time as we see more matches.
Yeah, as you see the strategies develop and things level out. It does take time indeed. Quite curious to see how it all ends up, and I think Moses made a really good point about that. A lot of teams are saving stuff for the major as well. But there you go, SK Gaming able to reset the economy of CLG immediately after only 1 round won by CLG, thanks to Magic Spoy being so incredibly on point. And here it is, Modi now going for the entries, looking pretty clean for him as well. Takes a bit of damage, but job is done. His team is into the bomb site, and it's going to be really hard here for CLG to do much. They were not expecting this really fast pace, and they were not in proper positions to really deal with it. I think it's very hard to deal with the fast pace in this map because it's the timings for the T's into the upper bomb site from the squeaky door are much better now.
Cillian should get taken down here, indeed he will. And that's going to keep people in the site for SK, because obviously Tarek with the high ground, I don't think he'll be seen on a def cam there with the recent changes to the def cam by Valve. So he'll have to keep an eye on things in that direction. I feel like outside is such a conundrum. I feel like there are some interesting passive positions to be had. Again, the position behind the 2 fans on the roof, but then the second player, you see JDM, he's going for the traditional position that you would see from AWPers on the old map. But I feel like people might end up going, you know, I think covering main might end up being the focus, which you could do from inside A, for example. Yeah. But then do you put somebody over towards Secret, or does he go closer towards CT, holding an angle onto Secret?
I think the problem is that you run into this issue where people can more easily bypass him because of the upper route now that exists all the way along towards the CT side of heaven. And JDM, like, you can smoke him off and just lock him into garage. And then, you know, before, they would still have to go up the ladder, you know, get in through that room, so the players from ramp could more easily kind of help out that area. But now you can't really do that as effectively. The Ts have much more ability to just push the positions more quickly and catch you off guard. And so, yeah, it feels like maybe he's a little bit too far out there. But it remains to be seen, doesn't it?
Yeah, so we have a tactical pause being called here, presumably by CLG, who are losing rounds very quickly indeed. Yep. But again, I think like JDM is quite exposed in garage because he's very much on his own over there. But I don't know if that's something you can really change on the fly for Nuke at the moment, is in the sense that it's so new, people don't really know what works and what doesn't work right now. But again, that is an extended conversation. As I think you know, when Overpass and Cobblestone were first released, they were very different maps, especially Cobblestone, very different maps, and they required considerable changes to become a premium competitive map. And I think the general consensus is that that's where Nuke is at the moment, like the very early stages, where, you know, it's like a big block which needs a lot of sculpting. But here we are. CLG are the team on the CT side. They are 5 rounds down at the moment. They have the money to buy, I do believe, indeed. Well, they've got 2 rifles, actually. 3 rifles make that. So they can do something here, but it's hard. This is a hard map. We saw on the maps earlier today, Cash, we saw B being taken by the CTs, the pathway to B to try and close out a third of the map. I don't know if we can really see that from the CTs on Nuke, for example, because of the spawn timings, etc. They can't really go for a take of, and they could put smokes deep towards the radio room to try and hold off ramps, but there's nothing I can see that's strong for the CTs really at the moment. I think they can use Molotovs to try and slow down any fast timings into A, for example, towards the squeaky door and so on. But I think difficult times are indeed ahead for the CT side here.
Yeah, everything seems pretty hard to deal with at the moment, and looks like Pitter's on the James Bond. He's got 007 going on right now. And,
oh wow, you have to just just expose him like that, Dan.
Yeah, well, we'll have to get the camera on JDM later as well, because he is known for his setup. We can investigate his setup a little bit later. And we're back into the match right now. We've got, again, in a very awful situation here from CLG. They've got 3 rifles, a bunch of nades, but 2 players without really anything to speak of, Pitter and Haste on his pistol armor. And SK. SK definitely don't look super in control of or coordinated in some of their pushes, but they're keeping it simple. And you can see the firepower that's coming to display for them. And, you know, Magic's Boys really stood out there.
Look at JDM, he's rotated towards the secret position, misses a shot again, and Freeze will take him down. So JDM not having the game of his life at the moment, and that is the problem. He needs to deliver for his team here, especially in this round, as they are lacking 2 of the players have got pistols and 2 have rifles. That said, they've taken down the Cillian. Maybe they can try and rescue the AWP later, but Pimp has taken that position now, which means that SK have options open to them. They can try and pinch the B bomb site. Magic's Boy might be in trouble if he keeps looking at the wrong angle here. Comes out wide, and we will see a trade in the position towards the ramp, and it will be won by the Ts. I'll see a player pushing from A, but they will continue over towards B, where Pimp is in position here. Peter gets taken down unawares. That's 008 for him. And Hayes gets dispatched off soon afterwards. So, I mean, they only had 3 rifles going into that round, but again, JDM just missing too many shots here.
Yeah, I mean, right now he's missing an uncharacteristically large amount of shots, and it's always been the case. I mean, it was said on the desk as well that he's been the most consistent player on the team, and at times the best operator in North America. We're not seeing either of those 2 facts play out right now. JDM's not on his game in the first opening rounds, and you can see the result is it's showing itself, because he's been in spots where, you know, you expect him to be able to, you know, kill 2 or 3 players with unreturned frags. That's what he's there to do with that AWP. He cannot trade very easily against a good AWPer. But either way, we're into this next round. Maybe something can go the way of CLG this time. It's Tarek opening things up, but Modi with the defensive positions able to root out some of the aggression from CLG. And it's looking like SK, they just have to coordinate a little bit, be able to trade for themselves, and then they should be fine here. You can see that pace, that slow pace, is allowing them to exert a little bit more control, not get caught out of position, and make their way towards the bomb site. Pimp is in a dangerous spot, though. He's got no one near him to trade. His teammates are coming his way, but they're a little bit too behind him. So if there was to be a fragging situation, they wouldn't be able to trade onto Tarek. So got to be very careful there that you don't go too far ahead. And meanwhile, Modi is just lurking in the heaven area, still trying to spot the CTs, because it's very likely they're going to make an aggressive move somewhere here. So that is what Modi's looking for.
So, kind of worryingly, SK are slowly running out of time to get a bomb plant here, but CLG are running out of numbers. You can see Tarek just playing around the back of B just in case. He's taking a gamble that they'll come there and he can try and stop the bomb going down. Maybe if he's lucky, SK run out of time. However, the bomb's gone down over towards the A bomb sites, and that should mark the end of the round, and that will mark the end of Cutler for this round. So Tarek left alone here. And it seems that CLG are probably not quite prepared as they might want to be on Nuke just yet, as we don't see much in the name of eco rounds and force buy rounds from them. Because often you'll see CTs put the numbers together or stack a site, for example, and just try and get a bunch of frags in the mayhem, but not really working out for CLG at the moment. So 8-1 is going to be the score. Magic's Boy up there with 12 kills so far. Peter yet to frag.
Yep, looking great for SK, absolutely so. I mean, the thing is that they're going to get so much comfort here, and I really do think that SK don't, they're not going to have prepared on this map as much, but you can see that they're able to make it work anyway, and it's just because CLG are just not hitting their shots right now. I feel like CLG needs to get some comfort. Maybe it's just, as you said earlier, they need to warm up a little bit. But they need to do it so that they can still have effect in this map.
They
need to do it now.
Right now.
They need to be warm now.
The thing is, like, JDM's found himself a lot of 1v1 situations outside where he can try and shut things down, but he just hasn't connected. And I don't know if that's like, I think there's some comfort to be had when you're familiar with a map and you've been in situations many, many times and you have a rough idea of what to expect most of the time. But when things are new and raw and fresh, maybe it's a little bit trickier. Cutler off to a good start though. Modi's been taken down, so CLG have a man advantage. But again, the wall of smokes comes in, which will heavily limit what JDM could do outside. So far, so good though. Isilian gets taken down.
Absolutely, and we can see that Freeze is working that AWP outside, and he's going to be in a position where he needs to connect shots now for his team, and he has got quite a story as well. They were talking about it on the desk. There's lots of storylines here with these players, and it looks like actually he might not even get an opportunity to do much here. Pimp's already going to go down, going for that push, although Freeze does come back with a frag there, but gets eliminated by JDM. That's a great angle. Very, very hard when you move out into the outside area to know where to look, and JDM will take full advantage. Just Magic's Boy left, but that is definitely something to be feared. He's been very, very good so far in this matchup. It's like he's pinned down here between two sides.
The good thing is, though, for SK, they've got tons of money. You can see on the left there, Magic's Boy's got $7,000. So he could just try and kill as many people. Look at the money on CLG. They've got hundreds of dollars. You can barely buy ice cream with that in Counter-Strike. And but they all survive with 4 plays, which is massive for CLG. If CLG lose this coming round, though, that would be a complete disaster. Nice little snap there by JDM. Did all he could. Captain Cadillac laid back in the chair.
Yeah, you can see he's reclined all the way.
All the way back.
All the way reclined. I don't think there's anyone else that plays at such an angle as JDM.
No. Often people are like, their faces are right up in the screen, but he is far away, Dan. He is taking everything in. He's absorbing the atmosphere. But we'll see who absorbs the bullets in this round. Again, SK with a 6-round lead, going for another fast play to try and break the CTs here. The Molotov's just not going down fast enough. The frags are coming in for SK as well. Bomb site's been cleared out. It's a fast clear, and we'll see a fast plant.
And that's what I was talking about, that timing through the door. It's so hard for the CTs to make it over there because there's so much obstruction in this map now. It's so awkward. And that was fully capitalized upon. SK get themselves in there. They get the trade fragging situations going their way, hitting their shots. And how do you get back in that right now? I mean, you've got this situation where the smokes are down. There's loads of nades. although SK are starting to run low. But there's so much time has been killed already. But there goes Tarek straight through, but he's blinded. It's not going his way. JDM missing yet another shot. In goes Cutler from heaven, takes down one frag, but there's still much more to deal with. Sent flying down the ladder by Pimp. And that's going to be the round there for SK. They are looking untouchable right now by CLG, but it does feel like it's the CLG that's not all that together at the moment.
Disaster strikes Dan. There is some money on the CLG side, but it sucks, basically. It's crap. I mean, they're not having a great time when they're on the full buys now, and they will be bringing out a force buy on this occasion. 3 rifles so far. So things can surely only get worse, all things considered. What is the play from SK? I mean, they could entirely just play fast into A every round until it fails, and then maybe do it again. They've got the money to do so. 9-2 so far. Seems they will just take up positions. Magic's Boy taking JDM down outside once again. There he goes. So that's 2 rifles remaining on these 4 players. And again, it'll be down to CLG to try and force the aggression here. But Cutler, I don't know if he wanted to try and go for the smoke. Maybe he got blocked by the door. He can't see because of the smoke, but there we go. They will try to keep the map control for the time being. Cutler's going for round 2, flashing in again, but he's going to get taken down from Modi. Patience paying off at SK.
Yeah, Modi with the slap down there, and it looks like Peter's going to get attacked from that heaven position, and there it is again. You know, CLG, they're very stretched, their defense. Selene can just walk all the way around outside and just gets into this ridiculously strong position, gets the frag, and that's the round over now. SK looking to go 10-2, and when will the dominance end? Will it end? Looks so good right now for SK. And CLG don't seem to have much of a response. And again, it does feel like this map is very, very, very hard if you are on that CT side, because it feels like to me you're pretty much at disadvantage more or less everywhere.
Yeah, I think you are, but I think this CLG side is very underdeveloped on the CT side at least. I think there are other ideas possible outside.
I mean, if you know, we'd have the normal situation where JDM's hitting his shots, a lot of breathing space would be there for CLG to work with, but I mean, they're not really getting many opportunities just because their economy keeps getting shut down as well. So I guess there's that to be, you know, to bear in mind. But at the same time, SK might be sending CLG to map 2 very shortly if things continue at this rate.
Indeed, that is a face of frustration there for Tarek. Just too much going the way of SK at the moment. And I think we might have another eco coming in. Indeed, there's about $2,000 on all the CLG players, which normally means not much is going to be purchased, as they will require more money to have a better effort in the following round. So 11-2 looking very likely for SK. CLG with no grenades. JDM's actually bought full armor and a defuse kit, as well as a pistol. And the fast push begins here for the T side. So JDM's actually gone for a full buy, Dan. He's got $100 in the bank. That must be a communication mistake, surely. I don't know why he would do that in this situation.
It could just be that he's tilted a little bit as well. I think it could just be one of those situations where he's just really, really frustrated. And honestly, I think that there's two sides to this as well. You know, 2 things that could frustrate JDM. The normal one would be maybe if his team was underperforming, or if there were mistakes where he feels like there shouldn't be mistakes, or errors where there shouldn't be errors in his team. Or there's the thing that usually doesn't happen, where he himself is actually underperforming. And then that's got to be a pretty awful situation there.
Everyone had around $4,000, and he had 2.5. That's barely enough for a Chinese takeaway in Counter-Strike. So he's going to be on a pistol while his teammates will be on rifles there. So I don't know if that's tilt or a mistake. I can't see how it's a mistake, Dan. So I think you're probably right that it's maybe it's desperation. Let me buy this defuse kit and try and do something, but I don't know. Toys out of the pram, perhaps. A bit big for a pram, though. I haven't seen a JDM-sized pram before, Dan.
The prams don't recline like that either.
No, they probably don't. Maybe somebody could manufacture one. Not many customers, though. And JDM will be the first one to go down towards the secret position. That allows the Ts to go towards B or A. That causes many problems for CLG. You can see that forces Hazed to come down and try and hold things down on his own. So he has a numbers disadvantage, an information disadvantage, because he knows the Ts are right around the corner, but he doesn't know how many. It weakens the rest of the hold across the map. It's just a disaster for CLG. Hayes chooses aggression. So he's got some information for his team, but again, they've got severe disadvantages here.
Yeah, this is pretty awful again here for the CLG side. Just losing that 1 versus 1 JDM versus Magic's Boy, but again, Magic's Boy, he's been just his pace is he's been blindingly fast on those shots, And he's been faster than any of these CLG players, seemingly. So super good to see that this bomb is doing so well. And just a quick clear out here, you can see SK Gaming. I mean, this is not really complicated what they're doing. They're just taking control of areas together and kind of loosely coordinating pushes here and there and going as a unit and getting trade frags. But there's no trades because the CTs aren't really killing them. We're just going to annihilate all of you. That's what it is.
It's a CLG pinata, Dan. They're on a string from a tree, and they're getting whipped with a baseball bat. Belts, shoes, tennis rackets, snooker cues, everything. So we are into the last round of the first half, and JDM will be on the honest scout. I say honest, but you can jump and shoot people in the face of it. That's not very honest at all. 3 rifles on the 5 players for CLG. What can we expect? We've got some Molotovs coming in to try and slow things down towards the A side, but it is outside where the shenanigans will begin. Peter gets traded. I think he just doubled his kills for the half, Dan.
Absolutely, and I can't help but feel like every time we see JDM, it's just misses upon misses at this point. I think maybe there was one tag with the scout there, but still, you know, no significant damage done outside by CLG. They got 1 frag, but they lost control. They lost 2 players for it. Cutler with a quick frag there onto Asilian, but still, big advantages here for SK, looking strong to go 13-2. Got Haste creeping outside. Great shot connected onto Pimp, but still 2 players remaining. He comes back out. Another nice tag there from Haste. If he can pick up that AK, which looks like he's going to be able to do, he actually has an opportunity now to maybe save this one. The thing to note, though, is that he has no kits, and he has not really got any grenades either. So if the bomb goes down, he's going to be having to move quite quickly, as it's a 10-second defuse rather than a 5-second one, but maybe that's not even going to matter. Eliminating yet another player. Hazed looking for the big clutch here to at least have a chance at the 3rd round. But in comes Magic Boy up from heaven as Hayes looks to go around the back, and Magic Boy can get a plant down now fairly easily.
Hayes can jump up on those barrels all the way onto the roof, although there's a bit of a running jump required, so that would give his position away. He will opt for the ladder, it seems, unless he chooses to go towards B. And indeed, he realizes it's a Magic Boy. We'll never see this coming. So a consolation run, perhaps, for CLG at this point. 3-12. We never know what's going to happen in the second half, but they're going to need a lot of luck, a lot of things going their way if they are to get back into this match.
Yeah, big clutch there from Hayes. That's a really important one, and they need anything right now that can help to somehow boost their morale, because it feels like their morale was lacking. You know, towards the beginning, we saw some nice stuff out of CLG. We saw some good ideas, but then it was the miss shot upon miss shot upon miss shot that really seemed to just allow SK to run away with it, and the star player, they're not really delivering.
Right, well, we'll see what these teams have to offer in the second half. See you after the break. (12-3) is the score as we come in towards the second half. You can see that Magic Boy has been doing some work for his team. The whole team's been doing well so far. Not much to report from the CLG side. So we've seen some struggles for them. It seems they are probably unprepared for Nuke, but now it's SK's turn to defend. So if CLG can manage to be successful on the pistol round, then we'll see SK put to the test and see if they're up for the challenge.
Yeah, I mean, CLG, I'm not super confident right now for them, because it does appear like they're having a really hard time just playing their basic game, and they need this start, they need this pistol round to go well. And we saw that Congo line previously, and it's not going to start off any better seemingly here for CLG, losing Tarek immediately. Tarek, perhaps the key pistol player. He's incredibly strong with pistols, and he's just shut down. He's sent to the bench immediately.
Look at the difference in approach as well. CLG closed the distance on their pistol round, even though they have the range advantage with their pistols. SK exploiting the range of these pistols, freeze over towards the garage as well, so a great start from them. They're using what they have, and they're exploiting that, whereas CLG chose to close the distance. Didn't work out. It was a gamble, didn't pay off. So they have 3 players left in this pistol. This is a must-win pistol. This is a desperate situation for the CLG side. Not seeing Modi behind the box, it seems. They will try to charge towards the bomb site. There is a rotation coming in from the CTs as well, but Modi may not need it as he's finding himself some headshots. Asilian will support, take down JDM, so it's Peter versus 4.
Yeah, that's not an easy ask, especially for the coach. He's going to get taken down, shot in the back. And it's great to see, you know, Modi, another player who's got a huge amount of history, was an incredibly strong player individually from Sweden, one of the players from Sweden on the lineup. And, you know, we get to see some of the impact that he can have with that pinpoint accuracy, with that USP. And it's going to give SK a very nice start indeed into this next round. They've got all the UMPs out here. And the UMP is one of the cheaper SMGs, and it allows you to have a lot of grenades, which keeps you safe, hopefully, is the plan at least, against the force buys, which we see right now from CLG. They've got a very potentially strong situation, very strong pistols. They can run and gun with high efficiency, but it's not going to be too efficient here. Both Pip and Magisboy opening up with defensive frags more and more until no one is left standing on the CLG side. That was shut down with only a single loss. That's exactly how SK wanted it to go.
In came the man them, Dan, but the chicken shop was closed. 14-3. CLG, this could be the fastest game today so far. It could be, but will it be? There are 2 rounds at least remaining for CLG to try and, well, to do something, to do what they can. I don't know if they have a plan on this. I mean, but perhaps it's a case of the veto. It was a priority to take maps away from SK versus, you know, taking the gamble of maybe getting the nuke. Here we are. Tarek scouts, no Kevlar. 3 Tech-9s and a Deagle onto the remainder of the CLG side. Tarek very quickly up onto the silo, or Twinkie as they call it in America. So far, so good. Cutler taking Magic's boy down at close quarters. Player has been spotted, a player has been eliminated.
Yeah, Tarek is pretty devastating with when he has like a sniper rifle in his hands. Right now, he might be the superior sniper to JDM at this moment, just because JDM's not been connecting at all, and Tarek with that scout as well. He always finds creative ways to use that weapon, and looks like a bit of a push comes in there from Modi, looking to get something done, and he does. He picks up a frag onto Cutler, looking for the info, and he's going to spot Tarek again. Oh, Modi with 2 more frags, shutting things down. It looked like maybe something could go the way, finally, of CLG, but no. Modi steps in. Sicilian's there as well. Down to 3 HP is Pitta, so life still looking quite difficult here for CLG. And the nade and the M4 to finish off both players. And there you go, 15-3. SK looking very strong on map 1 against CLG. A mere 1 round away from closing it.
Who do you think's going to win that?
Indeed, I mean, I wonder how the morale is on CLG side, if that's going to be impactful in the next map.
In fairness, if they haven't done their research and so on, I don't think they'll be too fussed.
I think that they did, though. I think that's why we have Train, James. I think that's why Train is here. I think SK left it open. But into the next round we go, and CLG forcing it up, trying to scrap together what they can to see if they can get something done here. But immediately, Freeze is going to take down Tarek again. One of the key players is out of the round, and no entry has been made.
So, Freeze, well, actually, he didn't get the frag. It was Pimp to take the player down outside. So, well, 5 versus 3, and there's 1 rifle, and that rifle is a Scout, and that rifle's gone now. It's Cutler versus 5 to keep CLG in. He's going for the high ground, and does not bode well. He's managed to rescue an AK, but I don't think he can rescue his team in this particular situation. Down goes Pimp. We've got flanks coming in. So, SK are giving 1 versus 1s now to Cutler, which they do not need to do. Although with 14 HP, there's only so much that he can do, he can muster, and it will be a very fast first game here for SK.
Easy victory indeed, CLG not really finding anything that worked. And it was, you know, again, that CT side. This is how you would have expected trains to go in the previous editions of the map. It used to be very CT-sided. Is it really T-sided? It may seem to be from this result, but CLG perhaps just not ready with what SK had to throw at them today.
I don't know if we can really read much into that map in terms of in the map balance and so on. There's really not much to report apart from Modi's interesting dance moves here. Yeah, a solid game 1. That's good confidence for SK going into game 1. 2, we'll see you after the break.